Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sumit and today I will help you improve your Lightning Web Component development experience. If you are tired of deploying your code again and again into your Salesforce org just to check the small UI changes, then this video is for you. In this video, we'll learn how to enable and use the live preview extension in Visual Studio Code to instantly preview LWC components. You will be able to test your UI changes locally without any deployment. This will save you a lot of time and make your development smoother. So what will you be going to learn in this video? Number one, what is LWC Live Preview? We are going to discuss about that, how to install the extension in Visual Studio Code, and how to run the component to preview, how to preview the component in a live preview mode. So the very first thing is what is a live preview extension? So live preview is a feature in Visual Studio Code that allows the Salesforce developers to test the Lightning Web component locally. We can open your component directly in a browser, make UI changes in your code editor, and instantly see updates in a preview window. So we do not need to push the code to the org every time for the change to preview the changes. So, for example, let me explain you in depth. Let's say this is my Salesforce org. This is my Salesforce org, and in this Salesforce org, this is my component. Now, let's suppose in this component, I have made some changes. Every time I make a change here, what I have to do is I need to save the changes and then deploy these source to the org. I need to deploy these changes onto the Salesforce org to preview the UI, whether the changes has been whatever changes we have implemented, those changes get reflected in the UI or not. But that's a very tedious task because every time we have to switch from Visual Studio Code to Salesforce, and so basically it wasted a lot of time. So in order to overcome with this challenge, the live preview LWC preview has been introduced. LWC Salesforce preview extension has been configured in Salesforce in Visual Studio Code. And how we are going to do this? It's pretty simple. What we have to do, you need to navigate to your Visual Studio Code, and in the Visual Studio Code, switch to extensions. So here you can see, here's my extension. And in the extensions, you need to select for Salesforce Live Preview. This you have to search, Salesforce Live Preview. Now, what is a Salesforce Live Preview? It's a Salesforce Live Preview for Lightning Web Components. And the Salesforce Live Preview extension enables you to preview live web component directly into Visual Studio Code. When you save changes to your component file, the preview automatically updates, allowing you to iterate quickly without deploying code or manually refreshing your browser, the way we used to do traditionally. To know more details about this, there's a documentation. You can click on this link. It will take you to the document. It will take you to the document. So if you want more detailed information about this extension, you can check it from here. So here the features: integrated web view preview, smart component tracking, automatic server management, and pin unpin functionality, lock preview to specific components, status bar integration, many more. And there are some prerequisites before we install this extension. The prerequisite is we need to install the Salesforce extension pack, which we have already configured. Salesforce CLI, that is also installed, and install the local dev CLI plugin. And in order to install this, you can run this command, SF plugin install. So you can copy this command and run this command in your terminal. So I can go back and I can run this command in my terminal here. So when we run this command, it will begin the installation. So these are the requisites, and once it is done, what we need to do is we need to install this. So I'm going to click on install. As you can see, I'm installing this, so it installed successfully. Now, in my case, it installed faster because I've already done that earlier also. Just to demonstrate you, I uninstalled that, so some residues were there, so therefore it installed quickly on my Visual Studio Code. Now I'm going to close it and let's refresh this once. And for testing purpose, what I'll do is I'll get back to my project folder and I will be going to create a new Lightning Web component. So let me create a new Lightning Web component here. Let's say test LWC CMP1. That's the name of my component. And in this component, I am not going to do any deployment. See this. So is exposed is set to false. I'm not going to deploy this. I did not set the targets. Even in the JavaScript, I did not make any changes, only in the UI part. So in the UI part, I just write here lightning card title as test component division paragraph my test LWC component. I simply save this. Usually what happened in order to preview the changes, what we used to do, we used to set the target. We first is we set is exposed to true and then set the target. And then finally we deploy this component onto Salesforce or we use select deploy this to deploy this source to all. But this time, we are not going to deploy this in order to preview because as we discussed, as I've told you that what is a live preview? So live preview, basically, it will help you. It's an extension in Visual Studio Code, which will help us to instantly preview the LWC component without any deployment. So I'm going to test it here. And how do I test it? So first I'll save this. Then, because we have already installed the extension, then I right click on my HTML and here I'm getting an option called preview. See this, open in Lightning preview. Open in Lightning preview SFDX. So either we can right click on the HTML file and say open in a Lightning preview, or else we can click on the extension, command palette, SFDX, open in Lightning preview. It's one and the same thing, but this is the easiest one. I right click on this and select Lightning preview. So I right click on the HTML and select okay, right click and I just say 1 second. I'll refresh this once. Why I'm not getting that option? Test LWC MP1 and switch command palette, open in Lightning preview. And when I click on open in Lightning preview, you can see I'm able to see my component. I can preview my component here directly. Here it is. The interesting part is as soon as I make a change, for example, let me make a slight change into my component. I just say my Salesforce live preview. See this. I'm just making a change here, save it, and it get reflect here. If I just write, let's say style and color as red. See. So UI changes also works here. So that's the way we can quickly check the UI changes in Visual Studio Code itself without any deployment. Okay, without any deployment. So, and but there is a limitation. The limitation is this preview focus on client side only. The server side features like Apex calls and real Salesforce data interaction require deployment to the org. Even with this limitation, it gives huge time saving during UI development. So I hope this feature will boost your development speed and helps you build better UI with less efforts. Watch the next videos on more tips and tricks for Lightning Web Components. So before wind up, before you end up this, don't forget to like, subscribe my YouTube channel to get the updates on the upcoming videos. Keep watching. Have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.